All right, let's get started. Welcome. My name is Matthew Wilson. I'm a manager here at Equis Financial. We're going to go through a quick overview of our business model and how it all works. So strap in. I'm going to go pretty quickly. There's a lot of details, but the idea here is to get you kind of the bulk of the information. And then if you would like to learn more, ask questions and so forth, then yeah, absolutely. There'll be a link at the end where we can schedule an interview. Okay, so let's get started. So this, first of all, so you know a little bit about me. This is me before my hair started turning gray. And this is about 8 years ago. I was working as a creative director. You can see my office in the background way up there. And we were just being goofy one day, but this is how I felt. I felt trapped. I had a job, but I didn't like asking for time off. I didn't like, a certain limit of pay that I could have. I didn't like being paid W-2, which is the worst in taxes and all the things that come with having. I like the security of having a paycheck, but everything else, I wanted my freedom. And that was a big deal for me. So I realized, I was always trying new things, but 88%, according to Forbes, of millionaires are business owners. So I realized I had to be a business owner, but I tried a lot of things. And they didn't work out, one after the other, failures over the years. But I was learning, I was growing, and then I came across life insurance. Don't ask me how, it kind of found me. I never set out looking for life insurance as a vehicle to, get all of my financial dreams come true. It wasn't an obvious solution, but I was hungry enough that I'm like, as long as it's legal, moral, ethical, I will try it, because there were a lot of people making a lot of money in life insurance. So I tried it, and it worked. And I'm here today. I'm full time. I got out of my job after 8 months of being part time, and all the things that had not worked previously, this was the one that did. So let me tell you what this is, what I did, what new agents do, and you can decide if this is something that might work for you. But first, let me tell you what this is not. Okay, what it is not. This is not a W-2 job. If you have a W-2 job, we encourage you to keep it and work this on the side until you're used to and it's more sustainable before you leave. Don't just quit your day job if you're thinking of doing this. Second thing, this is not something with a boss. You don't have a boss here. You are your own boss. And then the third, it's not a get rich quick. It takes work. It takes time. It does happen, but it takes some effort to get there. Okay, the rewards don't fall into your lap, unfortunately, but that's the case with most things in life. So what this is, is a 1099 sales business. Okay, so you're 1099 contractor. This is a side hustle at first. Okay, unless you've already done this, you need to get good at it. You need to get used to it. So this will be at first a side hustle, unlimited income potential. We have agents making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, up over $1 million. And that takes a lot of work to get to those numbers, but it's certainly doable per year. Leadership and growth opportunity, absolutely. We are looking for leaders, make no mistake. Everybody's welcome. But the ones who thrive are the ones who take on that leadership role. And there is so much opportunity if you're one of those people. And what this is, finally, is an independent agent model. If you're familiar with the difference between captive and independent, ours is independent. Okay, these are some of our carriers. I say some because there are more, but this is who we represent. When we're out writing policies on families, most of us do it from home, by the way, just like I am right now. You would be working with one of these companies. You're representing some of the largest, most established, A-rated life insurance carriers that are out there on the market. Okay, and like I said, there's more than this, but this is some of our family. Our 6 core values. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to get into the nuts and bolts, but it's important that you know our values as a company. Equis Financial is founded on respect, ownership, relationships, humility, attitude, and toughness. Okay, my company is Life Matters. I embrace these values as an Equis agent. Equis is the company that we joined and the company that is through our contracting, and their parent company is called Integrity Marketing. So I think you saw it. Yeah, well, it'll be here. Anyways, so that's a little bit about who we are. And as you start your own business, you would just join the Equis brand at first until the day where you started getting your own brand and your own company logo and website and so forth. So let's talk about our market, who we serve. We distribute financial products, not just life insurance, a lot of financial products in a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Middle-income Americans, average, regular workers, hardworking Americans, that's who we serve, okay? Our leads, we do have a leads program. You do not have to buy a single lead. If you're good at generating your own, warm market, however you want to get in front of people, great. But we do have a leads program for those that want. And this is what feeds most of us. So if you see the leaderboard, all the top producers, this is where most of them are how they're thriving. A lead comes in, it looks something like this. This is one of the lead types. There's QR code lead types. There's another one, they're mailers. You can see people fill these out by hand. There's one where they call in. And you get the data on a typed form like this. And then there are also lead types where you would get, you would have the QR code scanned. And so they're different lead types. They're internet, mailers, all different types. But lead costs are around anywhere from $1 on the cheap side. These are old leads. They're not great. I'm just being honest with you, but they're cheap. All the way up to, I think the most expensive lead right now is $86. Okay. So, do you have to buy leads? No. What's your budget? Whatever your budget is, that's where you start. We'll talk about that later, but I'm just letting you know, if you want to buy leads, that's the price range. And they're ready, served up, compliant, and they're on the a dashboard where we can log in and purchase as many as we want. So, pretty cool. The dashboard looks something like this. It tracks your goals, it tracks your production, it tracks your everything that's going on in your business. Okay, I'm not going to go through all this in detail, but every agent gets a dashboard. No, we don't pay for it. This is all included, but it gives us our numbers. As CEOs, we can see what our numbers are at any time and understand how healthy our business is and if we're growing or not, right? So the dashboard is where you're going to live day in and day out. Okay, there's a lot of great resources all over here that are available to all agents when you join. You get your own dashboard. So let's go into our comp plan and our business model. Number one, okay, sales. First and foremost, you've got to sell life insurance to make your paycheck. Okay, so the first part of our business model is you writing policies and protecting a family. When you do that, you're going to write a policy that has what's called APV, annualized premium value, okay? Monthly premium times 12. I write a policy for $100 times 12 is $1,200 APV. Joe protects a family, okay? $100 a month, like I was saying. So 100 times 12, very simple math, $1,200 APV. All right, so Joe's commission level is 80%. He's a brand new agent. You're going to see our comp plan in a minute. Our starting comp is 80% for a brand new agent, which means his total commission on that plan would be $960. And this is based on a Mutual of Omaha, Term Life Express. There's a lot of different carriers, a lot of different companies that pay out at, above, or below. I had to pick one for purposes of illustration, so a little side note, but you're going to get paid right about there for most policies, okay? So $720 for a 9-month advance, because we do get 9 months up front, and then the other 3 are called back-end commissions. So another $240 totaling the $960. So you're going to get paid the full $960, but it would be some now, most now, some later. So there's a few formulas, your comp level and the front-end commission, and factoring both of those in. But what we're going to say is we're going to be conservative and just say a national average of about $600 up front of what you would get per time you submit. So we're going to kind of bring that down and do a lower national average just to be extra conservative as we do the next math, which is how much money you can make per month. This is really simple stuff, guys. There's nothing groundbreaking. 2 apps a week, $1,200, $4,800 a month. 5 apps a week would be about $3,000 or $12,000 a month. That's more based on full time is what you would probably expect there. And then 10 apps a week, $6,000, $24K a month of income. Those are some numbers just to give you some rough scenarios. We have agents doing 20, 30 apps a week. You can do the math, but doing very, very well. And we have part-time agents that do 2 apps a week or even 1 app a week. You can decide how much production you do based on your availability with your time. So here's what it looks like in the form of a comp grid. This is our comp grid overall. This is brand new. And we just came out with, it's now 80%. It was 70, it's now 80% starting comp. You can see down here. And you can see that if you hit these numbers, 2 consecutive qualifying months, you can skip, by the way, which is really cool, all the way to 105, 110, 115. If you hit those numbers 2 months in a row, 3 months in a row on these up here, gives you that comp raise. So you can give yourself a raise for production and work anytime you like. You just got to hit those 2 months in a row. And then producer bonus, let's say that you get 20,000 APV per month. You got a whole month to do it. That's running pretty good, but there's a lot of agents that do it. It's very doable. That's a $1,000 bonus on top of what you're making. 30,000 APV, 1,500, and so forth. You can see the producer bonuses that we give out every single month based on the volume of production that you're doing. So not only do you get your comp and your commissions, but you get a bonus. It's just Equis saying thank you for doing a great job. So that's your personal production. Again, this is business model 1. This is you just selling life insurance. All right. This is what it looks like closer up in case you can't see those numbers. But you got bonuses anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a month that you can earn just by working hard. So love that. But let's move on to the second bonus or the second model of our comp, which is building an agency. Now let me pause first because there's some people that say I don't want to build. Cool. Just skip over this part, go sell, make a lot of money. We'd love to have you. Okay. But there's a lot of people that see the value in building. So let me at least get this in front of you because there may come a day when you do want to build. But most people love the idea of both selling and building. Okay. And here's why. You remember this gentleman from, 20 years ago? He was pretty famous because he wrote this book called The Cash Flow Quadrant, which talked about your money coming from one of 4 places, either your employee, self-employed business owner, or investor. Okay, and this ESBI, which is this thing that he did, personal paycheck. When I go sell life insurance, I'm making money as a self-employed. I'm not employee, I'm self-employed. Okay, and it's active income. So if I'm not selling, I'm not making any money. But if I'm selling, I can make really good money. But what about getting over to the right side of the quadrant where it's passive income, right? So that's becoming a business owner and or investor, the I. So this second part of our business model is you going from a business or self-employed over to the B quadrant, business owner. Let's talk about that. So your commission level, let's say that you've done pretty well and you've gotten yourself up to a comp of 100%, which is very doable. So you bring on an agent and your agent is at 80%. Okay, that is what we call in our industry a spread. Spread is the difference between the two. So what that means is insurance carriers love paying out for production they didn't have to pay for to get. Our arrangement with these carriers is that we're going out, hitting the streets, selling, doing all the things, right? And they're getting business in the door without having to hire employees. So they are happy to pay us pretty darn well for our efforts. It's a win-win because they're only paying for business that comes in the door, right? So they pay the agent full commission. So this agent that wrote a policy doesn't come from his pocket. He's happy. He made his full commission. The carrier pays you an extra 20% because your comp is at 100. So this agent wrote a policy. You didn't do work for it. You helped, right? You helped by being a leader, helping that agent. But for you bringing that agent on board who then wrote a policy to the carrier is going to pay you the difference between your 2 comp levels, which is spread. So you get 20%, and that agent would still get their full comp. Hopefully that makes sense. But here's what this part of our business model looks like on the building side. We have different levels that you can reach: regional manager, vice president, senior vice president. I'm going to skim this pretty quick, because if you want to dive in deeper, we can. But this is once you get building down the road, this is what it's going to look like for you. Your comp level, first of all, as soon as you hit a team volume, not personal, you got 5 agents. QER is Qualified Equis Representative, I think is what it's called. QER. So a qualified means someone that's written 3 policies. So you and 4 others, totaling 5, come up with a total volume in 1 month of 50,000. All the policies that you write totaling 50,000. Your comp level goes to 110. You got to hit it 2 months in a row, by the way. 110, and you enter into a bonus program. Above and beyond production, personal production, is you now get a quarterly builder's bonus based on growth. Okay, and then the same thing, you can just look up here, very simple chart. If you hit these numbers, you're going to get these comp levels, 3-month qualifications for these levels, bigger bonuses, more money, more overrides, increased comp. Okay, it just gets better and better as you climb the ladder. Very simple. You can see how many writers you need, how many agents to hit those levels, and the number of months to qualify. So very simple comp plan. It's based on merit, but it's very generous. And the comp levels, you can get to 130 on your own pen and 140 with a team. So you can see it right up here. $250,000 is all. It used to be a lot more. It used to be you'd have to get to like $1 million of production to hit 140. 140 is a very high comp in our industry. So $250,000 at a 140% is a phenomenal business bonus model for us. So anyways, that's the longer term growth. If you're starting out, you're probably not going to be hitting those numbers for quite a while. You got to get started, get in, get going. You know, it might be months before you're starting to really run for these first levels. But once you get going, your business can get to where it's self-sustaining and you have enough override production that you don't have to sell as much anymore. Okay. So this is the residual side. That's why on the cash flow quadrant, this is on the right side. This is you making money, not actively, but more passively. And as you grow, you'll get to that point where bonuses, override income, back-end income, residuals, I didn't talk about that. They're all going to start coming in from different places. Whether you're working or not, you're making money, which is really cool. So that's the attractive part of our industry. That may be part of why you're here. I'm not sure. But it is part of what makes the financial services one of the industries that produces the most millionaires in any industry. Okay, let's keep going. How do we get paid? Let me just summarize. Personal production, right? You get commissions when you make a sale. Monthly raises. Well, every other month if you're doing 2, but giving yourself increases, and you can skip. Remember, you can skip levels, comp increases. Production bonuses. Okay, so for just producing, you're going to get bonuses when you hit those levels that I showed you at the bottom. Managers bonuses, okay, that's for growth. Your team volume, hitting regional manager, vice president, remember all that. Back-end commissions, that's the months 10, 11, and 12. Override commissions as a producer, you're going to get those overrides. Your carriers do incentives off and on. They give you, bonuses, promotions, trips, all that. And then residual. There are a lot of products that pay out every year for many years, a small residual. And those just keep trickling in, and you just start getting paid from a lot of different places, and you're not even sure where, but hey, not going to complain, right? That's the value of building a life insurance pipeline. The money starts flowing. Okay, day in the life of an agent. Here's what this looks like. This is not rocket science. This is not overly fancy what we do. I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. I wasn't the smartest person at school. Far from it. I was an art student. But this is what we do. And this is very learnable. You can learn how to do this. Number 1, we sell insurance. Okay. There's a presentation, there's a script, you make calls, you call leads, you talk through their options. You don't have to talk anybody into life insurance. They either need it or they don't. And if they need it, you're their agent. You're going to find the best rate we can get. We teach you how to close, how to transition to an application. Take the application. If they get approved, you get paid. Boom. That's it. Sell life insurance. Okay. I'd never done sales before this. So if you've never done sales, you're right there with me. So how do we sell insurance? Buy leads, book appointments, write policies, get paid, right? Right there, that quadrant. That's our business model, number 1. Number 2, we help other people sell insurance, and that's the business model on the right side. So you're either selling insurance or helping someone else do the same. It's just this nice little game of follow the leader. Okay. Support, what does it look like? They have to know all this stuff. How are you going to get help? We have phenomenal support. This is team training site, right? It looks something like this. We have six steps of getting you through the sales training, and it's going to have all the scripts. It's going to have little videos, teach you how to do it, how to make calls. You go at your own pace. It's all pre-recorded, and it's sitting there ready for you to plug in. There's other tools on the site, help you run calculations for quotes and things to make it really simple, very easy. And then Integrity has some tools as well. When you buy leads, they come into your client database. With Integrity, you get your own website. You get your own phone number that'll link to your cell phone so you can make calls through it. There's a CRM built in where you can send them birthday messages and annual review messages. And they're building that out to add even more stuff. You can see on there's a calendar. I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but there's a whole lot here. And when you click into a client, Jaden, for example, you can track your activities. All the calls are recorded. If you want to go back and listen to a conversation, it's going to be there. You can do a quote based on the information that's already gathered. It auto-populates in the quote, saving you time. There's a lot of tools here that's built out. Again, there's no cost for this. Most of these types of CRMs would cost people a lot of money. This is all built in. Our agent training site and our Integrity site, these are free tools that we all get access to as agents to help you with your business. Okay, second thing besides this training site is we have daily live sales training calls on Zoom. You can go into a room, you can raise your hand, you can get coached and mentored right there from the top producers in the company. Okay, we have breakout rooms for live dials, for running appointments, overcoming objections, advanced market, referring for annuities, and for debt elimination cases. And we have, on and on. So we have every morning for an hour, 10 a.m. Eastern time, our training calls. And you can join and show up and just plug in, and that's going to be an ongoing learning center for you. Looks something like this. You're going to learn how to build an agency. We're going to dialing, objection. I already went over this. I just didn't advance the slide, but underwriting tips, so much more. Okay, these calls are super valuable. They're our lifeline for learning. And the third thing that in the way that we support our agents is on appointment mentoring. So when you're on appointment, that is where the rubber meets the road, and you're going to have help on your appointment from an experienced agent that's going to help answer questions, underwriting, product knowledge, strategy, how to answer what the client's asking you. If you can do nothing more than get in front of people and bring in your mentor to help you on the appointment, together we can close business. So you have a 3-tiered support system. You got the training site, watch it at leisure, download all the tools, get all set up, get ready to go. Daily sales training, that's your ongoing feed for learning. But nothing's more important than getting help right on an appointment from a mentor. Okay, we offer all 3. And again, there's no cost. We don't charge for any of this. Here's what a partnership would look like. If you're thinking to yourself, I should give this a go, just see how this goes. This is what we would expect, and this is what you could expect from us. Okay, from our part, we provide leadership, training, we provide the access to the products, lead access, of course, tools, all the stuff that I've been talking about. This is all part of what you get when you join our team at Equis Financial. Okay, here's what we need from you to make this work. Okay, you can't come in and just expect this to just fall into your lap. You're going to have to work for it. But we need you to have some technology, computer, camera, phone, mostly, so that you can run your appointments in your office. We need you to be willing to learn. Okay, I can't help somebody. I can teach you, but I can't learn for you. I can't make you receive the knowledge. You have to be a student and a sponge and absorb it and show up and listen, learn, take notes, and apply, right? Follow our values. Our core values are very, very important. You'll hear us talk about them regularly on our calls. Show up and engage, okay? Don't be a passive, be active. Show up, turn your camera on, ask questions, just engage. Act like you really want this and that you're learning and growing, and it will happen. You may not know everything at first, but if you show up and engage, you're going to learn how to be a solid life insurance agent. And then the last thing, and this is the big one, that's why I bolded it, right? Work ethic and desire. You got to hustle. You got to work, okay? If you're in a job like I was and you're stuck and you're not happy with it, you don't like it, guess what? You can get out of it, but it may not be easy, because the most rewarding things out there in life take effort to get, right? The biggest rewards require the biggest amount of effort. So how big is your goal? The bigger the goal, the more it's going to take to achieve it. But we can do it. I mean, there's stories all over the place. I'm one of them. 8 months it took me to leave my corporate job and come full time. And now this is all I do. I've grown a growing agency, a lot of residual income, and continuing to grow. So you get that same opportunity, but you got to work for it. You got to hustle. Now, the good news is you don't have to do it by yourself. If you're not used to being a business owner like me, I'd never been a business owner successfully. I'd tried things, but I never got anything up off the ground. I needed help learning how to do things, how to be thinking like a CEO and a business owner, and being organized with my systems and my processes and things. So you're going to need the same. And the cool thing is we do that all together. We're all in this together. We're a family. We're very tight knit. And you'll learn if you just keep hanging around us. So getting started, this is what it would look like. Number one, you got to sign an agreement, which gives you your back office and your profile with Equis, an agreement saying that you're independent contractor agreement, ICA. Number two, if you're not licensed, you got to enroll in a study course. Okay, a study course is normally $200. We have something for that. It's called a partnership, where we get a referral code and they give us a huge discount. So the study course is $40. Okay, so if you're wanting to get licensed, you want to enroll in some study course somewhere, use our discount code. If nothing else, it'll save you a lot of money. And when you get your license, you're going to need that for wherever you go. It looks something like this. When you pass your test, they're going to give you a certificate or an actual insurance license. Mine's here from Arizona, my home state. And as soon as you have that, then we get to get started with contracting. It takes a couple of weeks. That's just more forms, paperwork, but with the carriers now. And they got to do their background checks and so forth. Then we do a kickoff call with your mentor. We set some goals together. We're going to answer all your questions, make sure you got through all the sales training, and get you started selling life insurance. And ultimately, down the road, when you're ready, building a team, taking advantage of both sides of our business model. Here's a thought that I want to leave you with. If you think being an entrepreneur is risky, try working for someone else for 40 years and living off of Social Security. Okay, this was near and dear to my heart when I was an employee, and I can see so many people around us in our society that just kind of go through the motions. And then one day you stand up, you look around, you're like, where am I? I'm 10 years in now. I didn't really dream of doing this when I was a kid, but what else am I going to do? Like, I don't want to go back to school. I got a couple kids or whatever. Life is so precious, and the older you get, the shorter it is, and the more you realize every day matters. And I didn't want to get back at the end of my life and look back and see that I hadn't taken enough risks, and left wondering what I could have done if I'd stepped out of my shell and owned a business and started a side hustle and see how far I can take it. So there's risk on both sides of the fence. If you think having a paycheck is security, just talk to the person that was laid off and see how that went. Unexpectedly, it happens all the time. So paycheck may not be as secure as you think. So a lot of people think, oh, you're doing commission only. That's so risky. Well, there's risk on both sides of the fence. And once I realized that gave me the courage to leave my job. And that's what I needed, because I was like, I don't want to walk away from a paycheck. But then I realized there's so much risk in staying, because I don't want that to be my life either, right? Okay, so at this point, you're either feeling something, you're like, this guy's nuts, I'm out of here, totally fine, thank you for your time if that's the case. But if you're feeling like, maybe I should learn more, maybe this could be for me, schedule an interview. If you're invited here by somebody, go back to them. If you're on my link, on my page, there's going to be a link down below or something, somewhere. I don't know where I'll put it, but there'll be a link. Get on the calendar. It's just a 10 or 15 minute chat to get to know each other a little better, understand your needs, your goals, your situation, and then we're not going to try and talk people into anything. This isn't a sales call. We're here to just tell you how it is. That's the only thing I wanted. I just wanted the truth. Like, just be honest with me and tell me what it's going to take to win big. And that's what we do. And in an interview, we're just going to kind of feel each other out, see if we're a good fit together. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'll tell you how it is. It may not be for you. I'll tell you if I feel like it, but it'll ultimately be your decision. And if you like what you see and you feel like there's a shot at you doing something big with your life, and this feels like that could be it, then let's get started. We need people. We're so underserved. There are so many leads that we can't get to them all. We're holding back because we don't have enough agents. So yes, we want people, but we want the right people. We want people that are hungry, that follow our values, that have the work ethic, the desire, the burn, and that want to do something more with their life. So if that's you, click the link or get back in touch, and let's get to have a conversation. Make sure it's a good fit, and we'll get started. So that's all I got for you today. I look forward to chatting with you, and we'll answer more questions on the next call. Take care.